Salutations, Utopians. Um, got another video I needed to get on the record while I'm ahead of it. It already kind of starting to permeate, but it's on my Twitter X page, underscore sports. The 8 replaces the O, GL8BAL underscore sports. Um, so today, Morant, who I haven't forgot. I shouted him out during, for whatever it's worth. I shouted him out during the All Star. I felt like, man, the dunk contest really could have used him, and I think the league should have allowed him to maybe participate for the sake of just likeness and celebrity. I mean, if you got Donovan Mitchell in the 3 point contest instead of putting up one of the specialists there, I would have why not put Ja at the dunk contest? But and then recent memory, I was thinking about it. I was watching a prospect. First and foremost, Ja announced today that he is parting ways with his longtime agent, Jim Tanner. It's the only agent he's had since joining the NBA. Um, I will say that this isn't any kind of guarantee of anything, but normally players of this magnitude are getting ready to do something. Julius Randle did something like this earlier this year when he elected to get rid of his agent, who happens to be the president of the New York Knicks, the team he plays on, the CAA. And Julius is in a contract year. So is OG Anunoby. So I can't wait to see that unravel. Um, I I think I did a quick short video on that one, nothing like this. Um, but when you look at Jim, the reason why I say there's no guarantee is the fact that when you look at Jim Tanner's resume, it's very impressive. Don't get me wrong. He's even worked with the Clinton administration. This guy is, he's well connected, which is what the business is about, relationships, right? When you're an agent, endorsements, you want to land, you got to be a socialite. But his most notable uh, player outside of Ja was Jason Richardson, slam dunk champion, former University of Michigan Spartan, Michigan State Spartan. What's wrong with me? Michigan State Spartan standout, and just a guy who actually Jason Richardson. He's crazy talented, but he was shooting guards grow on trees. Even though his game was a little bit just above that, he was just under Vince Carter, who, by the way, congratulations to him, just nominated into the Naismith Hall of Fame along with Jerry West and Chauncey Billups. Um, the most recent name outside of Ja in this era, because everyone else is a role player, none of them are real social media guys, is Tenacious Antetokounmpo, who is Giannis's brother. But we all know, sadly, Tenacious is not really known for his basketball, at least at this moment. I do remember him being drafted by Phil Jackson. Thought he was a Bo Outlaw type, scrappy hustler. If anyone remembers Darvin Ham back in the day, one of those kind of guys, high energy, junkyard dog type players. He'll get after it, rebounder, but for whatever reason, things went south, and then now everyone's complaining about him being there because of his brother. Uh, I don't think it's a complaint, actually. Let me fix my wording. I think it's justifiable. People questioning if he's really worthy of a spot on the roster. So Tanner's not really tapped in like that in terms of relationships in the league right now. Um, Ideally, for the gravity that Morant is carries. I know it's a down season because he's out indefinitely with the injury. And then prior to that, there was other outside stuff. I don't really talk about criminal stuff or anything of that nature. I'll leave that to the legacy media outlets. But Ja switching agents is very interesting because Coach Calipari has a prospect by the name of Ron Dillingham. And it's ironic because Dillingham's role with Kentucky this year was reminiscent of what Kyrie was in college, and that's whose handles he can that I can honestly say rivals. Now that is elite category for all my 2K NBA 2K lovers. That man has Hall of Fame badge, ankle breaker, and playmaking badges in total. Okay, he's capable of scoring on all three levels. It does. His handles are so elite This guy, there isn't a defense there is no defensive front you can put on him. Schematically, there's things you can do, get physical with him, bump him, etc. But he's got the elite handle that it doesn't matter what you throw at him, he's going to get where he wants when he wants. And then he's got that really thin, frail frame of his that allows him to get wherever it's not easy to latch on to as a defender if you try to meet him with that 90s era type basketball. So the hand checking, the slick stuff that Miami gets away with, Houston, etc. So you begin to ask yourself, you got the emergence of Gigi. They got players there that in this downtime, Brandon Clark's been away from basketball. JJ is has started to show again from his Olympic form, right? Bane is Bane. All-star caliber 2 guard in this league, one of the best the league has right now, budding stars, right? You begin to ask yourself, I'm forgetting there's another guy from Spain on their roster who's starting to emerge as well. High energy, scrappy guy, got into it with Draymond the other night. I can't remember, I compared him to Detlef Shrimp. Dude's playing like a guard, moving around anywhere from like 6'8 to 6'10. And is just extremely versatile, and he's not afraid to play above the rim. He's like Spain or Brazil, something like that. I committed a whole post to him. Forgive me, y'all. You can find it online, and I actually reposted it under this post that I'm about to break down, where I stated that what does Memphis do if they land themselves in a position to draft Rob Dillingham? Is it a Halliburton, De'Aaron Fox dynamic, or are we talking about an outright replacement to Ja Morant, who the Memphis Grizzlies can no longer afford to sit around and wait? Maybe the Grizzlies operate in the realm of the Patriots, Kansas City Chiefs mentality, where it's like we want to sell high before, because this above the rim game we've watched happen before. We've seen this play out with respect to Westbrook, these ultra athletic guys who play way above the rim. I'm not talking above the rim, I'm talking way above the rim. Derrick Rose, I don't wish it on him at all, obviously, but you can't help but think to yourself, man, is this style even sustainable? Furthermore, Ja is a very limited perimeter shooter, and I don't know if he's been working on that with this downtime. I would highly advise it, but I do know he has some shoulder injuries right now. I believe the injury is due to some shoulder extremity, some type of deltoid injury, if I remember correctly. So I don't even know if he's really able to even get shots up the way he would like right now. I don't see him in any kind of sling or anything like that. But I'm no medical expert, but it's crazy because Dillingham's handles could rival the Kyries and the AIs. He's jittery like that. He can score on all three levels. And last but not least, he can distribute. This is a can't miss surefire prospect. Book it. This guy is going to translate on the next level, and it's just a matter of where is he going. And he goes to Memphis with that assortment of weapons, they're immediately going to hit the ground running. So if you're Memphis and you're like, bad pub, the market that we're in terms of what he has been accused, and this is the closest I've ever even gotten to talking about players and their off-court issues, but knowing the laws and the Second Amendment issues going on right now in Tennessee, the South in general for that matter, and how loose it's gotten, do you press the reset button? This is a really tricky conundrum that they got on their hands right now. And if anyone is worthy, this isn't a Scoot Henderson replacing Dame Lillard situation. This guy is the real deal. Calipari is the cosign. If it's good enough for J.J. McCarthy to be talked about as a potential one pick with Jim Harbaugh, how in the world is it not this guy with John Calipari, who only deals with guys who can flash NBA next level potential? He's an NBA program. And so I'm telling you, I've been saying it. I quite frankly waited too long, but this just added even more fuel to the post that I had 2 weeks ago, that this guy right here, Rob Dillingham, poses a big threat to Ja, and at some point, one or two, something's going to give. There's no way. Memphis is positioned where they're loaded at every position at this point. Don't forget, Gigi's emerging and Marcus Smart is there. I keep forgetting Marcus Smart too, who's out for the year. Defensive player of the year. They are free to do whatever they feel necessary. Best player on board. So you bring in him, and he's already shown in Kentucky that he's willing to be a backup. So you bring him to the league and you let him cook for a little bit. And then when you pair him with the fact that, now I'm thinking on a bigger scale, I'm thinking on a global scale, the Lakers need help right now. Rob Pelinka's on the record for stating that he's going to get the Lakers a third option this year, this offseason. And if the rumblings are true, the first thing that everyone unanimously was agreed upon in the comment section was Rich Paul. Well, it's time Rich Paul cashes in for LeBron. Not time, but he could really, let me fix my wording, sorry. Talking like I'm playing basketball instead of Rich. It would really be clutch if Rich did this solid favor for LeBron, if in fact he's going to sign this 2-year deal, really keep this, especially with the emergence of LeBron's three-point shooting now, where he's showing that he can hit threes regularly now. And if you let him look at it, he'll knock it down. It's still, it's still he's still picking his spots, and it's the timing in which he's shooting these shots that are saying a lot. But I do want to be very clear that with that being said, LeBron has displayed the willing and capability of shooting that three ball. If you are the Lakers, getting a guy like that, and I know the Westbrook thing kind of scares you now, ultra athletic guy, can't shoot. Ja is a guy who nobody can stay in front of. He's another one of those rare players, and I know we just happen to name two other ones, but he's one of the rare guys. His dribble pen, especially if you just let him do him, it's going to be explosive. This market needs it. Like I said in my last video about LeBron retirement potentially after next year. I don't think there's no way he's not retiring. There's no way he's retiring this year, but next year, with the Lakers falling out of the Forbes top 5 for the first time in 2 decades, they need someone to infuse some life. And with the Clippers going to the Intuit Dome, the last thing they can afford, because they're so used to being royalty, they have over leveraged themselves to a place where you can ill afford to take a back seat. What is going to be your way of returning fire to match this new stadium being made right next to the airport? So they're going to get all the working class professionals and all the tourist money right away by the Clipper Stadium, right away by next to LAX, the airport, the most busy traffic airport in the world. They're in top 3. LA's top 3 economy in the world. So, and don't get it twisted. Who's the owner? The owner of the Clippers, Ballmer, is the wealthiest owner in the NBA. You can ill afford to get shadowed like the way they are. They're being left behind slowly but surely in downtown LA. They need something to put butts in the seats, quite frankly, and to restore that enthusiasm. And this is one of the only rare chances that they can make to cracking that, if you ask me. So I'm on a wait and see approach. I don't want to seem like a sensationalist or being over dramatic, but these are the things that are looking more and more, and I'm just trying to bring it to y'all first. All right, Utopians, I'll try to do better next time. Global, out.